Well, in the world, boy, it's your boy Big Low Country. For everybody out there that don't know me, my name is Big Low Country. I'm just an old country boy, former football coach. They love to sit around and talk about sports. You could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you're here with us, and I definitely and greatly appreciate it. First of all, if you're watching the show after we've gone live already, make sure that you put a what in the world boy in the comment. Also, make sure that you share the channel with your friends and family. Now, you may say, "Hey, Big Low, there's something a little there's something a little different about you. You got a little swag to you." You know, it might be because I don't know if y'all can see it. After I had my epiphany about the hanging earring, we'll go a little bit more into detail about that a little bit later on in the show. If you want to get the full story, make sure that you check it out at Big Low Country Sports on YouTube, where I tell the story about how I discovered the hanging earring, and I had to go ahead and jump on in there. Look at here, Bo. If you watch the show after we going live already, like I previously said, make sure that you put a what in the world, Bo, in the chat. We definitely want to know where we're getting the love from. We got a few things that we want to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking about how OTAs have been going so far for our Atlanta Falcons. We're also going to be talking about um, the comments Bijan Robinson made, saying, comparing himself, how he's going to be used close to Mr. Christian McCaffery. And, like I said, we're going to be talking about this upcoming season. Another thing we're going to be mentioning is who's going to be, shall I say, the number two target, the number three target in this Atlanta Falcons offense as far as it comes to, receptions and targets and everything like that. It's going to be live. We got to show love to everybody that's showing love to us. Got Big John Higgins in the house. What's going on, John? What in the world, bro? Hope you're doing good, man. We doing good this way, my brother. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's going on, family? Hope you're doing good tonight. Brian Moses, what's going on, Bo? Hope you good. Down South Georgia, Bo. What in the world, Bo? What's going on with your fam? Colors by Kish. Much love to my sister in here. Make sure that you shout out to my homeboy Terror Artist 404 doing this thing on the ones and twos on the Madden side of YouTube. Make sure that you check out my homeboy, my brother Terror Artist 404. Sean, what's happening with it, Bo? Hope you good. Bernard Cantrell, what in the world, Bo? Melvin, much love. He says, "What's up, Atlanta Falcons fans? Rise up! You already know what it is. Falcons rise up! You already know it, man. We here for it. Michael Matthews, what it do? You already know it, man. So I don't know if anybody had a chance to catch some of these press conferences. So, one thing, I don't know if it's a situation where we put too much stock in the press conferences or we put too little stock in the press conferences. But one thing that I noticed about these press conferences, I don't know about y'all, but I kind of take stuff and I run with it. I'm listening for nuggets. I don't know if it's because we're just fiending football so much, but I'm listening for nuggets and I'm trying to see, is this going to translate to September, October, November, December, hopefully January and February. That's what I'm sitting there thinking, Bo. I'm like, look here, is this where we at? Is this something that's going to be going into effect? And if you heard what Bijan Robinson said about how this offense is different and how he feels like he's going to be used more like a Mr. Christian McCaffrey, put a one in the chat. If you didn't hear it, put a two in the chat. I just want to know if y'all heard it. So if you heard what Bijan Robinson said about being used like a Christian McCaffrey in this offense, talking about how Kirk Cousins is, how he's different, how he's legit, put a one in the chat. If you, like I said, if you didn't hear that, put a two in the chat because I just want to know what y'all thinking. Shouts out to my homeboy Dre Murphy. He said, "What's up, beloved?" Shouts out to Big Low Conspiracy. How y'all beloveds doing and feeling on this cloudy, nice, rainy, wet hump night? Beloveds, hello. Man, wait a minute. I didn't know it was raining. I didn't know it was raining. Had to put some of Coach on these plants outside. I didn't know we were getting no rain like that, but look, it's definitely needed. Definitely needed. Before we get a little bit deeper into it, I do apologize. Um, I know the old coach has been absent, as y'all know. Shady. my little cousin, he's being recruited to play college football all over the country, and we've been going on these visits all over the country. So I told Coach Rona, I said, look, I ain't talked to the coach staff in a while. We got to get our workout in tonight. I promised her we're getting our workout in tonight, but I had to make sure I had come on, talk to the coaching staff, see what y'all thinking about, the past few happenings that the past few happenings that's been going on here recently. Shouts out to my homeboy G12, Grand Dodger. Much love to you both. He says rise up all day, every day, and twice as high on game day. Hello. You already know what time it is. Michael Matthews, Melvin Emery, Christy Lewis. They all say they heard Bijan Robinson's remarks about being used like a Mr. Christian McCaffery. Grand Dodger said he didn't hear it. So Bijan Robinson basically said that he sees himself getting the ball in a lot of different ways in this offense. I don't know if this is just media talk. You know how they tell you the things that they think you want to hear just to get everybody excited, or if it's legit. But regardless, it's one of them situations where I ain't gonna lie to you, it got me going. I got a little naked. Shoulder came up through the shirt. I ain't gonna lie to you. Down south Georgia boy says 1-3. Yeah. Shouts out to Coach Ronan, the great, in the words of my homeboy Padre, the great mighty Three Geek Nation. Christy Lewis says, you better get that. He said you got that ear bob on. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Hold on. You know how we do, Coach? No, we you know, gotta hang an earring. It'll at least there's something special in you. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you. My life done changed. Just got a promotion on my job today. And this is just that I have it on for one day. Got a promotion on my job today. I got a few job offers. You know, um, it's crazy. Whole bunch of other schools been hitting Shady up about getting recruited. Yeah, it's been crazy. Just putting on a hanging earring. Shady, he put on a hanging earring. You see all the crazy stuff he do, but I'm just standing next to him. I put it on. It reached a whole nother level. Y'all make sure that y'all check the video out on Big Low Country Sports. With the hanging earring is crazy. You already know how we do. Shouts out. Speaking to my brother, he pops up. Terror Artist 404. What's going on with you, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight, fam. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate that, man. So the question is, will or can Bijan Robinson be as good? Can Bijan Robinson be as good as a Mr. Christian McCaffrey? Well, one thing that I like to do, I always like to go look at the stats. I mean, I feel like that's a good way to kind of gauge gauge what we got going on. I always kind of like to look at the stats and see exactly what we got going on as far as both athletes here. So if we look at it, we look at Bijan Robinson's numbers last season. Bijan Robinson carried the ball 214 times in that Arthur Smith that run heavy offense that we have with Arthur Smith. Sometimes he was literally running into a wall. Carried the ball 214 times, almost got 1,000 yards, 967 yards. He probably would have got it if he didn't have that phantom headache game, but that's neither here nor there, or here and there. Either way, 967 yards. Arthur Smith playing with his man's money. 4.6 yards a carry, which is highly respectful in the NFL. Like I always tell y'all, we want at least 3.5. If we get the ball 3 times at 3.5, we're going to make sure that we get a first downs. 4 touchdowns. You can credit some of that to play calling. Longest run was 38 yards. If I'm not mistaken, that was probably the run that he had in London. Whenever he cut the ball back to the even side of the field, and that's when we really seen the speed. 4 fumbles, you got to get a little bit better at that, and he lost 3 of them. So, you know, pretty respectful numbers. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Christian McCaffrey, I believe it was one of those cases where Christian McCaffrey, his rookie year, I believe he was used more as a scat back, if I'm not mistaken. I remember thinking like, okay, so he's basically gonna be like a Shane Vereen, a Danny Woodhead kind of guy, just gonna be catching balls out the backfield, lining up in the slide a few times, being quick about it. Wait a minute, before we continue, uh, uh, Coach Kish, Melvin. I apologize. I was joking about the promotion. Unless my boss is watching, I'll be more than happy with getting a promotion. That would be great. I would definitely and greatly accept and appreciate that. But I was joking about that. I was just joking about that. But going back to it, yeah. So as far as catching the ball, Bijan Robinson had 58 receptions off of 86 targets, 487 yards, 8.4 yards a catch with 4 touchdowns. Longest was that 70-yard. I wouldn't even say. Can we say that was a screen pass? I'm not mistaken. You know what? I'll say that was a screen pass that he caught against the New Orleans Saints. Shouts out to Coach Keith. I'm pretty sure she remembers that. That's etched in her mind. That beautiful play when we actually seen the true potential of Bijan Robinson running in the open field. But as you can see, pretty respectful year whenever you consider what the play calling was looking like. Now, let's take a look at a Mr. Let's take a look at a Mr. Christian McCaffrey. So y'all remember those numbers? 214 carries, 976 yards on the ground, 58 catches, 487 yards through the air. Y'all remember those numbers? Let's take a look at Christian McCaffrey and let's look at what he did. You know what? I can't even say what he did his rookie year. I'm going to go to his first and second year. So he played 16 games, which is, pretty much what Bijan played because, we're not even going to go there. First year, you can see here 117 carries, 435 yards, 3.7 yards a carry. Now, one thing that we got to remember, coaching staff, is that it was one of those cases where that Carolina offensive line was looking pretty rough for a while there. And you also got to consider that, Cam Newton was vulturing a whole bunch of those rushing yards. So 117 carries, 435 yards. But I think that biggest number is that average yards per carry. But if you look at the receptions, and before we go to the receptions, I didn't even realize that Christian McCaffrey had only had 3 1,000-yard seasons on the ground. I didn't even realize that, y'all. If you go back to 2018, 2019, and 2023, I knew that he had like a few years where he had some injuries, but ain't it crazy whenever your team's winning, how you're more inclined to play every game of the season? Is that me or is that crazy? Anyway, if you look at the receiving yards and we look at the receiving stats, his rookie year, 80 catches off 113 targets, 651 yards, 8.1 yards a catch, 5 touchdowns. So one thing that I'm noticing, if you compare Bijan Robinson to Christian McCaffrey, those numbers are pretty similar. Those numbers are pretty similar. And I'm finna ask the coaching staff what they think if they feel like Bijan Robinson can be as good as a Christian McCaffrey. But as you can see, as the years go on, those receiving yards continue to go up. Now, that could be accredited to a couple of things, guys. Number one, that could be accredited to just the talent that Christian McCaffrey is. It could also be accredited to his offensive coordinator making it a priority to get him the ball. Another thing it could legitimately be accredited to is the fact that there was a while where the Carolina Panthers didn't have a solidified number 2 target, which is something we're going to get into a little bit later. But, you see here he went through the down years where, he battled those injuries, 3 games, 7 games, 6 games, 11 games, and he was legitimately a lot of people he was a thorn in a lot of people's side when it comes to the fantasy football. But last year, once again, whenever you get healthy whenever you start winning. So 16 games, 67 catches, 564 yards. So whenever you compare both guys, right? You compare a Christian McCaffrey and you compare that to what Bijan Robinson was previously doing um this past year, my question to the coaching staff is, do y'all feel like it's one of those situations where Bijan Robinson can be as effective as a Christian McCaffrey? Do you feel like he could be as good as Christian McCaffrey? If you feel like he can be as good as a Mr. Christian McCaffrey, put a one in the chat. Everybody that's watching this show after we've gone live already, if you feel like Bijan Robinson is as good or can be as good as Christian McCaffrey, put a one in the chat. The reigning offensive player of the year, put a one in the chat. If you feel like it's one of those cases where we reaching, put a two in the chat. I just want to know what y'all thinking. Mama Country always told me, make sure you fill the room out before you step on in there. So if we feel like Bijan Robinson, just looking at these stats, and we can put them up right up against each other. Bijan, mind you, he played 17 games last year, but like I said earlier, one of those games he really didn't play because he only got in the game for 2 downs. So I'm saying he played 16 games. Anyway, fact of the matter is, if you feel like he can't be or is as good as a Christian McCaffrey, put a one in the chat. If you feel like, Big Low's going crazy, this isn't true, put a two in the chat. It's crazy because it's like whenever I look at Christian McCaffrey, for some reason he looks small on the field. I never had a chance to see him in person. It's crazy they were taken with the same exact pick, with the 8th pick in the first round. But Bijan Robinson 5'11", 215. Christian McCaffrey 5'11", 210. Because I was legitimately thinking at one point in time, I was like, well, dang, is it one of those cases where maybe Bijan will be a little bit more healthier than Christian McCaffrey because he might have a little bit more bulk on him. Now, mind you, in the football realm, 5 pounds is a huge deal. like 5 pounds is a lot of weight, especially for a running back. So I'm just looking at both guys, and I'm sitting here like, I mean, they're pretty comparable. I mean, I would venture to say that Christian McCaffrey might be faster than Bijan Robinson. If y'all could put Bijan Robinson's and Christian McCaffrey's, if y'all could put their 40 times in the chat, I would greatly appreciate it. While y'all are doing that, I'm gonna go back and see where everybody's voting. Brian Robinson, what in the world? Brian Davis, Coach Dre, down South Georgia boy, and Melvin, they all say one. They feel like it's one of those cases where, look, it is what it is. Christian McCaffrey, you might want to take a step over to the side because Bijan Robinson is looking like he could be the best running back in the NFL. I didn't say it. Brian, Dre, down South Georgia boy, and Melvin, they said it. I didn't say it, y'all. Oh, man. Also, shouts out to my homeboy, False Start Falcon came in here. He said, "Good evening, Bows and Boettes." Much love to my brother John Higgins. He says, "That's good about the little guy. May he have much success." I appreciate that, man. Also, Deontay White's in here, representing pound for pound. Much love, brother. I appreciate that. Definitely, man. Definitely. I'll tell my little cousin Shady that y'all are sending them some love. I made sure to let him know, Bo. Jay says, False Start Falcon, good evening. How are you doing and feeling on this hump night tonight, beloved? Hello. John Higgins, Wesley, they all feel like Bijan Robinson can be better or is as good as a Christian McCaffrey. Now, one thing we have to consider is, it was those factors that I mentioned earlier as far as, the success of running backs. Y'all know my motto when it comes to, football and people getting stats. Football is just like life. The circumstances help determine, how much you have to work and how successful how successful you can be, right? So we don't know who Zach Robinson is as an offensive coordinator right now today. We don't know. But one thing that we do know is that Christian McCaffrey and your boy Kyle Shanahan are a match made in heaven. You know, I'm pretty sure every time Christian McCaffery looks at the game plan, he probably be singing that. Who sung that song? It's been 5 months since you went away. Y'all remember that song? You left without a word, nothing to say. Again, we get into that. Nah, I ain't gonna do it. God sent me an angel from the heaven. That's what Bijan Robinson singing. Bijan Robinson singing concert. And Angie, thank you, sis. Thank you, Angie Perez. So I'm sitting on my knees, asking God, please to send. Yeah, exactly. See, my sis got me. My sis got me. Diego, Diego Montage in here. It says, I think Miami's Miami. What in the world, Bo? Miami. I ain't gonna lie to you. That offense is looking pretty filthy. We know OBJ isn't what he used to be, but Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, that running game, like McDaniels got that thing humming, Bo. It's all about what he can do in the playoffs. That's the most important thing. Antoine Wartime in here. What in the world, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight, man. Hope you're doing good tonight. All right, so somebody came with 40 times. Jay Murphy says CMC 4.48, Bijan Robinson 4.6. That's crazy. 'Cause I for sure would have thought Christian McCaffrey was faster. But hey, you know, so this is crazy because after having this conversation with the coaching staff, I'm legitimately realizing how similar these guys are. I mean, it's like looking in a mirror. It's like you, my mirror. Oh, my mirror staring back at me. Oh, how could it get any clearer? Oh, I'm sorry. I think about that song because one of our good friends, there was a couple that was their song, and the guy he used to consider himself the crump king. This is back when everybody used to hit the crump dance and everything, and he used to try to crump to that song, and I was like, that this doesn't feel natural. So whenever that song comes on, I always try to accentuate the delicacies of that song. Oh, I'm sorry. I get off track sometimes. Y'all know how I am. But I did not realize, and coaching staff, y'all let me know if I'm wrong. I did not realize how similar these two guys were until I put these numbers up, and until I put up you know, and until I put up just the height and weight. And then Coach Dre Murphy, he put in here that they almost have identical 40-yard dashes. We've seen how successful Christian McCaffrey's 40-yard dash is, you know, in game experience. Like we've legitimately saw it. I also need y'all to see something, if you don't mind, if you could see that like button for me. Thank you so much, Coach Antoine Wartime. Because y'all know Coach Ronan always reminds me to hit the like button. And Coach Ronan, she's tied up right now. If y'all could, make sure that you hit that like button for me. If you hit that like button for me, I promise you I'll dance at your wedding one day. Promise you I'll dance at your wedding one day. If you feel like Bijan Robinson is better or can be better than a Mr. Christian McCaffrey, make sure that you hit that like button. I would definitely and greatly appreciate that. But I didn't realize after looking at both players, the only difference is the age. One's 22. It's hard to believe Chris McCaffrey is just 27 years old. It feels like he's been in the league forever. But I did not realize how similar these guys are. Last year, Christian McCaffrey had 272 carries for so he was tied for second in the league, had 1,459 yards and 14 touchdowns. Bijan Robinson, 214 carries, 19th in the league for 967 yards, 4 touchdowns. It's crazy, bro. Play calling. That's one thing I like about the coaching staff, because it's like we're acknowledging that Bijan Robinson could be similar or could even be better than a Christian McCaffrey, but it's all about the circumstances that he's given. It's harder to score touchdowns when you ain't got the ball, Bo. If you steady going 3-and-outs because your coach is running triple reverses um, to the fourth tight end on the roster, and Kyle Pitts isn't even touching the ball, it's hard to get touchdowns. It's hard. It's almost impossible, Bo. Homeboy G12 says, welcome all Falcons fans to the stream. Welcome all NFL fans watching around the world. Rise up. Well, I definitely appreciate that, Bo. Says, friendly reminder to the wonderful viewers, hit that like/subscribe button. Helps the algorithm for Big Low Country. Much appreciated. We definitely appreciate you, Bo. Definitely. Definitely. Now, De Niro Wisdom, he says that he can be better than CMC. Shout. See, that's why you gotta love the coach staff, Bo. Shouts out to De Niro Wisdom, calling the elephant in the room a pachyderm. Much love to you, Bo. We appreciate that, man. Yes, I completely agree. I feel like if, and y'all know what the y'all already know where I'm going with this. If were a fifth, we'd all be drunk. The first 3 seasons, Christian McCaffrey, it was like clockwork. I know that Bijan Robinson only had 1 season under his belt, but it was a full season besides the headache game. If Bijan Robinson in this new offense, if this new offense could be legitimately legit, if he can stay healthy, I feel like he could have a more successful career and be better overall than Christian McCaffrey. I'm just putting it out here. I mean, whenever we look at the NFL and we look at running backs, can we all agree that Christian McCaffrey is the golden standard? I mean, am I wrong? It it's one of them situations where we can all agree Christian McCaffrey is the golden standard. So, I mean, with that being said, I put it to you like this right here: who is better right now in the NFL? Whenever we look at running backs, who's better than Christian McCaffrey? So let me ask you: if you feel like Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the league right now today, put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like he's not, put a 2 in the chat and tell me who you think is better. I'm pretty sure my homeboy from Miami might say Mostert. Or if you feel like it's, I mean, I don't know who I would say is better right now. I mean, if we legit keep it a buck, who who's better? Derrick Henry, he done been around for a few pecan seasons. He done been around for a few pecan seasons. He switching teams. Saquon Barkley, he just switched teams. Austin Eckler, I mean, it's to the point where he's wondering, he pretty much wandering aimlessly around the bayou. And don't nobody know what they're gonna be doing with him. I mean, who's a better running back in the NFL today? DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift. He doesn't hit you with the switch up. Nick Chubb, he's consistently hurt. Why can't it be Bijan Robinson? I just don't understand. I mean, is it too premature to is it too premature to throw our hat in the ring to say Bijan Robinson is going to be the best running back in the NFL this upcoming season? I mean, because I know that it's, what is it, July 5th, July 6th? It's July 5th today. And I know that, we haven't seen no football in 4 months, for the Falcons 5 months, and we're just creating all of these different scenarios in our head. But is it one of those cases where we can say Bijan Robinson is going to be the best running back in the league? Bulldog says, Algier, you say if he's giving up snaps? I just want to know. John Higgins says it's all about our offensive linemen knocking people out the way. Yeah, I mean, you could legitimately say that. But also, it's about the scheme, and it's about when you call your running plays and where you call your running plays. You can have the nastiest, biggest offensive line in the world, but if that defensive line, if they know when to run blitz and where to run blitz to, I mean, somebody can only block one person at a time, bro. If you run his own run blocking scheme, you starting off with uh two people blocking somebody and getting to that next level, bro. If you run the gaps, somebody got to get around that corner, to get to that next level, bro. But the thing is that linebacker, if he's striking that match and he knows when to blitz, how to blitz, it don't make any difference. That's the difference, guys. It's like, you'll have guys who come on and say, "Hey, I mean, it's about building a team. It's about that offensive line." And yes, that offensive line has to be nasty. It has to be filthy. You got to be nasty and filthy just to play football. Let's keep it a buck, especially at the highest level possible. But one thing that you also got to consider, think about that 2016 Super Bowl team that the Atlanta Falcons had. That 2016 team, the biggest thing that a lot of people often overlook is that offensive line, they played every snap together, and they weren't a group of heralded guys. Who was it? Chris Chester, Wes Schweitzer. You had Alex Mack and Jake Matthews. I mean, Schweitzer and Chris Chester in themselves. Chester, he was a journeyman. So I mean, you make a good point with that, John. But the thing that brought it all together was the offensive coordinator who knew when to hold them and knew when to fold them. It's all about bringing it all together, Bo. One thing we can see. Look, we had one of the top rated offensive lines last year, and that was the theory that Arthur Smith kind of went under. He was like, "Look, verbatim." He said, "We're gonna run the piss out the ball." That's what the man said. The man said, "We're gonna run the piss out the ball." I mean, it worked until it didn't work. It worked until it didn't work, Bo. Bulldog, he says, yeah. So he says Algier, if he giving up snaps, I guess that's what you. If I'm a defense, I'm thinking, dang, and you got Tyler Algier coming in behind this dude. That's tough. That's tough. Grandizer says, I mean, can we consider Jonathan Taylor? I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, Jonathan Taylor. What was that? The year before last? A lot of people consider him the best running back in the league, but it was obvious he was running for a check. And then, whenever he didn't get the check, whenever he didn't get the check, it was like, oh, well, wait a minute. What's going on now? Something. Wait, is it one of them situations where we thought you were better than you are? Like, so what's going on? Oh, man. Greta says, wandering aimlessly around the bayou, like, was that Rogaroo? I always wonder if I was saying that correctly. Dre, he says, nah, sir, it's not too early to say that Bijan Robinson is going to be the best running back in the league this season. Beloved. Hello. And Bulldog, he also says Algier is another Willie Andrews, Jamal Anderson, Turner. Come on, man. Real backs. Look, I'm not knocking you. I'm not knocking you. Michael Turner? Michael Turner, real running back. Real love. I mean, I'm looking for a real running back. Someone to tote that rock and real. I mean, he was legit, Bo. He was legit. Jamal Anderson, they force fed that boy the ball. With with a funnel and a hose, they force fed him the ball. Willie Andrews, shouts out to Uncle Steve and Smitty last night. If you had a chance to check it out, check out Uncle Steve's channel. Check out Smitty's channel. Whenever they actually had a chance to interview Willie Andrews last night. Once in a lifetime interview. Great listening to the insight and listening to the old stories. Great hearing the story about an old Georgia boy coming up in Georgia and playing for the Atlanta Falcons. Beautiful story, man. Beautiful story. But yeah, you're right. Those are your real running backs, bro. But we also got to consider the NFL has changed. It's not like it used to be back in the day. The same way the NBA has changed. We used to watch the NBA back in the day, and who do we have? Who do we have playing the five? We had the Shaqs. We had the Patrick Ewings, right? I mean, I remember some people would complain, and they said that Keem Olajuwon would play with a little too much finesse. They said, "Hey, man, his footwork too good." But I tell you what, you get down there with him and let him start throwing them elbows on you. But now look what you got: 2-time, 3-time MVP. The last 3 years, MVPs have been centers. They out there playing around the perimeter. You know, the centers leading uh, the team in assists. Centers out here taking 3-pointers. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. We just watched the Western Conference Finals whenever Karl Anthony Towns, who was almost 7 foot guy or a 7 foot guy, going against Jokic. I'm not. I'm sorry. The semifinals with Karl Anthony Towns going up against Jokic, and 2 7-foot guys out here around the perimeter, 20 something feet away from the basket, making plays. It's the same thing with the running backs. Now you have your guys like your Austin Ecklers. Now you have your guys like your Bijan Robinsons. You have your guys like your Christian McCaffreys. It's not like it used to be, Bo. It's not like it used to be. So I mean, we just got to get in with the times. Now it's going to be situations where, you know, you have guys like Christian McCaffrey catching 116 passes in 2019 for 1,000 yards, and in that same year, running the ball 287 times for 1,387 yards. Is it times have changed? Times have changed. Like this is where we at. This is where we at. So I mean, it's just one of those things. John says, "Yes, sir. A big country. I was there. It was a great show. Smooth Smitty and Uncle Steve with Willie Andrews. Big number 31. You already know, man. Shout out to my sister Joy, man. Much love to my sister Joy. Out here doing big things. We went to brunch the other day. Me joined Coach Roney, man. We had a great time. Winston said he's a great show, big bro. Gotta get ready for my show. Y'all go make sure you check out the eye test, man. My homeboy John and Winston doing some big things over there. I always enjoy listening to them, man. You get some real good insight chilling out with my homeboys Winston and John over there at the eye test. Make sure you check the fellas out. But the thing is that one thing that a lot of people aren't realizing is that if you're using Bijan Robinson like you're trying to use a Christian McCaffrey, look at this. If you're trying to use Bijan Robinson like you're trying to use Christian McCaffrey, think about it like this, guys. Look at the first 3 years: 113 targets, 124 targets, 142 targets. Now, I don't know what's the average that someone actually throws the ball per season. It's naturally it's gone up because the ball is thrown more and more. The short pass is the long handoff now. But if you're in a situation where you're saying, hey, you want to use Bijan Robinson like Christian McCaffrey, are you willing to pepper the ball to him 113, 124, 142 times? Or are you trying to make it more like last year whenever it was a little bit more balanced and he had 83 targets? Because last year, Bijan Robinson had 86 targets. But Bijan Robinson said in his press conference, and this is what we were talking about. We were saying, hey, it's one of those cases where is it one of those cases we're getting too caught up in what these guys are saying in the press conference? But he said they're trying to get him the ball in a lot in different situations, try to get him the ball more in the passing game. So is it one of those cases where if you got 86 targets last year, and first of all, more of those passes should have been completed, but that's on Desmond Winter. There's no need in even going back down that road. I love Desmond. In the words of Uncle Steve, The fact of the matter is, are we trying to give him the ball even more? Are we trying to pass him the ball even more? That's I mean that's the question because think about think about this offense, guys. If you think about this depth chart, and you think about this offense, we're in a situation where we have to figure out how passes are going to be distributed because we're hearing all kinds of things about um Kyle Pitts, becoming a factor in this offense. We're hearing things about Drake London taking the next step in this offense. A lot of people are wondering who's going to be that next wide receiver up. But the fact of the matter is that if you look at this depth chart, we have to ask ourselves, can Bijan Robinson, is it healthy for the offense if Bijan Robinson got 100 targets? Shouts out to my homeboy Mark in here. Much love to you, Mark. Hope you're doing good, bro. My homeboy Mark Cheney over there doing some great things on YouTube, putting out some really good videos, Bo. I've been seeing you. 330's in here. What in the world, Bo? Excuse me. What's going on with you, man? I hope you're doing good tonight, Bo. Shouts out to my homeboy 330. Joy says Fabo low. Everybody been talking about my shades that I wear whenever I rock my hanging earring. I don't know if y'all see that. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's that. Take it to the next level, Bo. Whole nother level. Oh man. When we look at the depth chart, if we keep it above, think about it. If you get Bijan Robinson 100 targets, Drake London 100 targets, I feel like Darnell Mooney is going to be the next guy up. I feel like he might be Kirk Cousins' favorite wide receiver target if I keep it above. I feel like he's more of a Kirk Cousins. I feel like he's more of a Kirk Cousins guy, and that just might be me. I'm also seeing him complete a whole bunch of passes to Darnell Mooney, and it's looking seamless. I mean, but we'll see. Rondell Moore, you still got Rondell Moore on the squad. You got Casey Washington. You have Kyle Pitts, who's going to demand more targets than the average tight end. With that being said, is it healthy for this offense to have? Is it healthy for this offense to legit be giving Bijan Robinson 100 targets? Because let's take a look at it. Let's look at 2022. Kirk Cousins threw the ball 643 times. I just don't see that happening. This offense is going to be a little bit more. Um, this offense is going to be a little bit more balanced under Zach Robinson. If you look at what they did in Los Angeles last year, it's a little bit more balanced. But let's put it in the middle. Let's say 550 times. If you look at how many pass catchers you have on here, I mean, because Ray McCloud, he's been getting a lot of targets. I don't know if y'all been seeing these OTA videos. Ray McCloud been getting a lot of targets. Rondell Moore ain't no slouch. Kyle Pitts ain't no slouch. Darnell Mooney ain't no slouch. People sleeping on Casey Washington. He ain't no slouch. Drake London ain't no slouch. Bijan, Tyler Algier, all these guys ain't no slouch. What I'm saying is, I don't know if it's one of those cases where you're going to give 1/5 of those targets to Bijan. That's all I'm saying. Boodall says, "Love the show, Big Low. Keep being great." But uh, I feel this more a team game. You feel, yeah, and I definitely understand what you're saying, Coach. I definitely understand what you're saying. I don't feel like it's going to be one of those cases where Bijan Robinson is going to be getting 100 targets. I don't. I feel like it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be a little bit more of a mixture in Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and Jace McClellan getting involved in it. What I will say is, I feel like, and this is what I continuously go back to, offensive play calling. I feel like Bijan Robinson, there was a lot of times, bro, he was making something out of nothing out there. He was making something out of nothing. Moving forward, I feel like the plays are going to be more explosive. I mean, he had that 39-yard run against and it's crazy because it's like I can remember out of all the plays that happened last year, the two most explosive plays, I shouldn't have to be able to remember that. I shouldn't have to remember the 170-yard pass he caught against the New Orleans Saints and the 39-yard run that he had against the Jacksonville Jaguars. The reason why I remember it is because there wasn't there wasn't that many explosive plays, Bo. At the end of the day, like it is what it is. This is where we at. So basically, what I'm saying is, Bulldog, you beat me to the punch. I feel like it's going to be the same type of production as far as the targets that he's getting. I just don't see Bijan Robinson getting more than 100 targets. I can see him being at that 86 mark. As a matter of fact, that's whenever Christian McCaffery was the most successful. I feel like last year was his most successful season, besides 2019, whenever he just went crazy. But last year, 83 targets, 564 yards, 1,400 yards on the ground. I feel like that's the way to go. I feel like that's the way to go. You got to remember, this is actually perfect for Bijan Robinson because, and Dre, he actually mentioned it, and I want y'all to let me know if y'all feel like my theory is y'all let me know if y'all feel like my theory is legit. If you feel like there's just going to be more explosive plays, because Dre said it. He says this team reminds me of 2016, beloved. Hello, yes sir, it does. It does. It reminds me of 2016. And if you look back at 2016, there were a whole lot of explosive plays. Do y'all remember do y'all remember specifically the explosive plays that happened? It's hard to remember them because there were so many. There were so many. So, it's just one of those things, man. Twisted's in here. Man, you got me twisted over you. I got what you need right here, babe. What's going on, folks? Shouts out to my brother Twisted, man. Twisted Torch TV. Great content over there on YouTube. Y'all make sure that y'all check my brother out doing this thing. And he's coaching the kids up. He has some shorts, man, where you can see some of those exotic play calls that he's putting together. Much love to my homeboy Twisted Torch, man. I gotta hit you up, bro. I ain't talked to you in a minute, man. Shouts out to the homeboy Twisted, the most energetic Atlanta Falcons content creator out here, man. Definitely. We also got a Superman chat that came in. Shouts out to my homeboy Tidy, Atlanta Bird Gang. He said Bijan will have a monster season in 2024. Need him to do a better job holding on to that ball, though, Bo. Dun, dun, dun. That's a Superman chat. Much love to you, my homeboy Tidy over there. Hey Tidy, I got to get with you because I keep missing the look, man. I keep missing the Waffle House. Tidy, he doing the Waffle House show over there. He get on there about 1 o'clock in the morning. They have some good Waffle House. So I need to get up with my boy Tidy, man. Shouts out to Tidy, Bo. Oh man. So let's see. Connor, he says, if you look at the Rams, they love to keep the same personnel on the field as much as they can, so you never know where the ball is going. Says I think Bijan is going to get all his targets on flat angles and screens, and a lot of motion. I could definitely see that. If I'm not mistaken, I think they said that the Rams were the second most motioning team in the NFL last year. If I'm not mistaken, now I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Also, we got another Superman chat from my homeboy Twisted Toy. He says, what in the world, Bo? He said, you coming out there to coach with me? Bijan, C Mac Rodo, how you feel about that? Hey, Bo, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. This I'm good with it. A lot of people forget that Zach Robinson is he's a grandchild in that Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. People forget this. So if they're used similarly, I'm all for it, Bo. You know what else I'm all for? That da da da. That's a Superman chat. That's something else that I'm all for, man. Shouts out to my homeboy Twisted, Bo. Shouts out to him, man. You gotta love it. You gotta. As a matter of fact, let's see here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat if anybody wants to come on and let me know if they feel like Bijan Robinson could be successful or if he's even going to be in that Christian McCaffery role. Because look, if that is the case, and if he is, I think it could be I think it could be deadly. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it could be something that's um it could take this Atlanta Falcons offense to a whole nother level. Because you got levels that you got to guard now, Bo. Are you going to guard Drake London out here, doing this thing 1-on-1, or are you going to go over here and, try to guard Kyle Pitts in the seam? Bijan Robinson, they put him in motion, let him do what he does, angle route, Texas route, Tennessee's, or like there's so many different things that you could do. And it's gonna be one of those situations where these defenses gonna have some decisions to make, Bo. They're gonna have some decisions to make. So I'm eager to see how it goes, and I'm eager to see exactly what we got going on. You got our first person coming on. Let us know if it's one of those cases where Bijan Robinson is going to be, or if he can be used like Christian McCaffrey and be as good at it. My homeboy Will Amy. What's going on, Will?
Where in the world, Bo?
What in the world,
Not
Bo?
much.
Come
At
on, man.
work, getting it in always, as usual.
Oh, okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Look, man, you gotta get that work in, Bo.
Yes, sir.
Gotta get that work in. Tell me what you thinking, man. Have you heard about the whole Bijan
Yeah,
Robinson said that they talk about using like Christian McCaffrey?
yeah, he can. He's got a. Only thing Bijan Robinson got to really work on is the pass protection. When like if the safety or corner blitz is coming, he got to hold his own. Against him. Don't get me wrong, he did good like catching the ball backfield and juking on defenders, but he got to work on. Bijan Robinson is more like an outside run. He's not like one of them. He's not one of them running backs like the go inside the zones or it's called a right side of the zone. So he's more like a pitch outside, but he'll be good though, man. He's got to work on our ball security and pass protection, and we got to use Tyler Algier too. When we can't use Bijan Robinson all the time, but when he get little 2 or 3 snaps, get Tyler Algier them tough yards, yards after contact. Because Tyler Algier, that's a sledgehammer. He was a bowling ball.
Yeah, and you know what? The crazy thing is like whenever you watch Tyler Algier run, it's like there been and I could be wrong. I could be wrong for what I'm seeing. It's like you don't really. It's like you see him run through tackles, but how often do you see him just slap run somebody over?
He
Like
loaded shoulder pad when I Detroit game. I seen the highlights of him. He popped the hell out of what's that a
yes,
linebacker Alexander who used to play for the Saints and he with Detroit Lions.
yes,
He put
Quan,
that shoulder pad to him, Lord, and like he run him over. Like that's what I like about Tyler. Tyler, he's more like a cut and go. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? He don't trying to do the hesitation, trying to run from away from the tacklers. He can run you over. He can catch the ball, and he can be physical with you. That's what I
yeah.
like about Tyler, and we need to keep him. I'm standing Tyler, and who knows if Bijan Robinson contract up, then hey, you gotta let Honey Mustard go. I mean, don't get it fixed now. We got to go if it's Tyler Judge because the man is a sledgehammer, man. He keep us in the game, and I seen that last year. Arthur Smith wasn't using Tyler Judge like he supposed to because
He
we didn't
was.
really have to get Bijan Robinson. We could have kept Tyler Judge and built that trenches on defensive tackle.
I mean, Art Smith was looking for his own Derrick Henry.
Yeah, man. I think we put 30 on them in week one. I promise you, it's gonna be a close one. I say 30-21 or 30-14 because we got to beat the brakes on them. We owe Arthur Smith that one.
Well, I mean, one thing, one thing that one thing that a lot of people don't realize whenever they think about like these matchups like this, we got to look back at the past. So when it comes to Arthur, like when it comes to this whole matchup, all right. So quick history lesson. So Arthur Smith, he runs a variation of the same kind of offense that Kyle Shanahan runs to a certain extent. But
for
another,
personnel.
yeah, but the thing is that I'm actually looking at the other side of it because your boy, um, Raheem Morris, guess who was coaching up under him back in Tampa Bay a long time ago?
Mike Tomlin.
Yes,
Yeah,
they run the same
yeah,
type of defense.
yeah.
Now,
But
I don't know how much the defense is going to be changing whenever Jimmy Lake comes in because I know he likes to run that cover three shell,
hmm
and he likes to kind of switch it up, switch the looks up. He might look like he's running man coverage and drop back in zone and vice versa.
hmm
But I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that Raheem Morris is putting in place that Mike Tomlin might know, and there's also a lot of things that Mike Tomlin's putting in place that Raheem Morris might know. So this is going to be a legit chess match.
oh yeah, oh yeah, most definitely. I ain't say it's gonna be a blowout. Or I did say that, but it's gonna be a close one. But my quick question is, man, what you think about we signed a dude from the practice waiver from the New England? Because I'm thinking Caleb McGregor might not get that right tackle starting in the middle of the season now, and Richie Grant. Because I heard DeMarco Hamlin's getting first team snap on defense. So how you
Yeah.
feel about them two?
Well, I mean, I heard that DeMarco Hellams was getting first team reps. I feel like it's still Richie Grant's job to lose. Training camp is really going to tell like the big story about
hmm
what's going to happen with Richie Grant. Um, but well, I'm putting it to you like this: preseason is really going to tell the big story because as they're installing this new defense, if Richie Grant don't have it, and like what Dean P said, whenever they took him, if that's not true,
hmm
then yeah, it's gonna be GG's for Richie because
Yeah.
Dean P said that Richie Grant was the smartest safety in that draft class.
hmm
And from what I saw the last 2 years, it's not looking like that's the
Inconsistent.
case.
He's not good in coverage. Get beat at the top. Can't cover running backs on the wheel routes. It's just yeah, man. I ain't giving up on him, but this is the last shot for me, man. And I'm gonna let you go after this one, man. How you feel about this tampering thing? Because I know we gonna lose the first round and the second round because Kirk Cousins. I said that thing on the press conference, kind of tell you everything.
Man, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna lose the first round. Um, I
Third,
feel
fourth round, I think fifth round picks or something like that.
I'm leaning more towards third. That's what I'm
Mm.
leaning towards. Uh, I just the fact that it's taking this long and the fact that it hasn't really got that much fanfare, I don't think it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a first or a second round pick.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and I'll see you, man. Hopefully, if you bet that Philly game, man, because me and Black on Jack Spade trying to. I mean, we getting our tickets, but I'm probably gonna rise up to a bus. I ain't flying to Philly. I'm gonna drive to from Savannah to Atlanta because I'll be at that week two game because I gotta go to court. Around September, handle this
Oh.
little case, a DUI case, something I ain't do. You know how
Oh.
those folks
Okay.
in Savannah is, man. Out
Oh
there in Coolidge.
yeah.
So
Hey. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well,
So
hey
man,
man, but yeah, hopefully we'll link up. We'll get a chance to link up on the road, man.
yes, sir, man. I'm gonna be in the background, man. You can get somebody else on it, man. One love. What in the
All right,
world,
man.
Bo?
What in the world, boy? Hey, look, and if it's one of those cases where if we go to Philly, if I do make it to Philly and we because me and Jack, we're trying to play golf at every place that we're
Yeah,
going to. So you gonna have to come with us on. You don't got to play, but you
yeah.
come with us on the golf course. We're gonna,
Oh yeah,
no,
most definitely, most definitely. Jack Spade, I got him on Facebook Messenger. I was telling him about the tickets
okay,
because I'll be at that Tampa Thursday night game and but probably be in Vegas too. I might try to slide out there in Minnesota. So all right,
okay,
man. I'm gonna be in the back, man. Listen to you in the chat.
all right, boy. Y'all take it easy.
All right.
What in the world, boy? Yeah, man. I bet. Yeah, I feel like this training camp, whatever this new regime coming in and everything, I feel like it's gonna be one of those cases where some of these guys are gonna be taking steps down. Some of these guys are gonna be taking steps up. I don't know what's gonna happen with the whole linebacker position. I heard Raheem Morris talking about it, saying, "Yeah, we might have the best linebacker room in the league. You got Troy Anderson, who's quick and short space. You got uh Nate Landman, who's he's good technically with hand placement, and just getting tackles. You got Caden Ellis, who does a little bit of both of them, really good on the blitz. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but somebody gonna have to sit at the end of the day. Like it ain't just me. You gonna play 11 people on defense, right? It ain't just me, right? Point being made. This preseason is gonna be very telling. Very, very telling. It's like you look at last year, there really wasn't nobody on the bubble. Like I'm talking about as far as the starting lineup. Whenever we looked at it, there wasn't nobody that you would look at and be like, man, I don't know if he gonna make it, bro. Like we weren't looking at Caleb McGarry like, I don't know. We knew he was gonna be there, and we just hoped for the best, right? We weren't looking at Bergeron and be like, man, I don't know if he gonna. I mean, granted, he was a rookie, but we were looking like, man, I don't know if he gonna make it, bro. We're looking at Mike Hughes or anybody like that, saying, man, it's gonna be this year. I'm sitting here looking at Richie Grant like, hey, bro, I don't know. It might be some hard times. Bulldog says the scary part about we got an opportunity where everyone else can be great. Yes, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Excuse me. My apologies, y'all. I ain't mean to sneeze in y'all's ear. Oh, y'all TV. My apologies. Connor says, you can hear the room. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you hear the rumors about Corey Davis potentially coming to Atlanta? No, I haven't heard those rumors. I would have thought he would be going to to Pittsburgh, but yeah, I haven't heard that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Brian Peoples, what in the world, Bo? What's going on with you, man? Hope you're doing good today, beloved. Hope you feeling good on this hump night, beloved. Much love to you, man. Much love to you. Definitely, I appreciate that, man. But yeah, I mean, there was something that I mentioned a little bit earlier, as far as while I was looking at the depth chart. I don't know, guys. I just got this. I got this funny feeling. I really got this funny feeling that this young man right here is going to take a whole nother step in this Atlanta Falcons offense under with Kirk Cousins. Now, I know that in the past times have been bad, but in the words of the great Sam Cooke, I really feel like change gonna come because whenever he started things out, um, his first two seasons, he was looking on the up and up. Now, rookie year, 61 catches, 631 yards. In that sophomore year, 81 catches for 1,055 yards. And then, enter, Justin Fields. When, you know, the progress got impeded to a certain extent. Oh, appreciate it, Brother John. Much love to you. Connor says, I think so too. Yeah, definitely. Budal says the linebacker room is a good situation to have. Man, that's a great situation to have. All I'm saying is we just don't know who's going to be sitting. We don't know if it's going to be a situation where they're going to pick two guys in those sub packages and just roll with it, or if they're going to change things up based on situations. So, I mean, we don't know. I know in situations like this, whenever you have that new regime coming in, and we're learning our down and distance rules, and we're also learning our new terminologies. A lot of times they be like, okay, we'll try to install the situational stuff as the year goes along. That third guy, you're just gonna have to make sure you watch everything because if somebody goes down, you might have to come in and do both jobs. Or as we continue to proceed, it'll be one of those cases where we'll start switching up situationally. So whenever it's a situation where you got a Christian McCaffery on the other side and we on the sub packages and we're running 3rd and 7 and higher, we're like, okay, Troy, you might need to come out here for this one because Nate, he's a great tackler, but we don't know if he'll be able to get around there quick enough, on a wheel route or what have you. We don't want to be exposed. So, but yeah, it's definitely a great situation to have, man. Bobby D, what's going on, Bo? Hope you're doing good tonight, family. Much love to you. Connor says, I won't lie. I think he could lead the team in yards. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. I legit feel like this is my dark horse. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out here. The young man from Tulane, 5th-round pick. I know that it's not and the thing is that whenever we picked him up, it wasn't like the biggest splash. But us Atlanta Falcons fans, we knew whenever we saw them pick up Darnell Mooney, we was like, oh, we got Darnell Mooney with Kirk Cousins. He gonna be the number 2 to Drake, and you still got Kyle Pitts. That's tough. That's tough. I feel like Darnell Mooney might. I feel like he could legit be pushing Drake. I feel like him and Drake could be neck and neck when it comes to wide receiver production. In the words of Boo Game, that's something that you want. That's something that I'll take it. I'll take it. Meanwhile, Granddad, he in here singing. He's singing, he's singing Black Eyed Peas. I just want to eat some Black Eyed Peas. Tony Wright, what in the world, Bo? What's going on with you, man? You still chilling out with Julio? I know that y'all just closed that deal in Iceland yesterday. I seen him put it on Instagram. Shouts out to Tony Wright, real estate mogul closing out deals with Julio Jones in Iceland. And I heard that y'all celebrated with some smoked lamb. Much love to you. Connor says we have so many threats. He's going to get lost in the mix. Hey, Bo, that's what we want. We want it. We want you to get lost in the sauce. William Amy, he says Troy Anderson is going to have a bounce back season. I'm about to bounce back. Bounce back. That's it. There you go, Bo. Can't beat it, man. Can't beat it. Y'all see, y'all young Thundercats, y'all know nothing about that. That's that old school juvenile. I'm about to bounce back. Bounce back. Yeah, y'all don't know. Y'all young Thundercats. Y'all, one of these days, y'all get up on that. One of these days. Tony Wright says, Low, what are your thoughts about the latest buzz that our Falcons are interested in signing Corey Davis, who is officially 1 year out of retirement? I don't know, Bo. It's like we always trying to get somebody who done retired, ain't it? Like we always try to get somebody who like right at the cusp, right at the precipice, or they done did the deed already. We try to talk them to coming back. We always doing it. Tony Wright said, "Nah, man, we already know. We know that y'all closed that big deal of Iceland. Y'all bought them 200,000 acres. Y'all celebrated with some smoked lamb leg. You ain't got to tell me, bro. We know how you do it." But nah, man, it's like as far as the Corey Davis thing, I figured we would have got him last year. Um, with the relationship that he had with Arthur Smith, we could have used him. If we keep it, but well, I can't say that we could have used him because it was one of those cases where we first of all we weren't throwing the ball like that. Excuse me, and then when we did throw the ball, it was one of those cases where the quarterback couldn't get the ball where it was supposed to go. So I do need y'all to do a cut your boy a favor and make sure that you hit that like button for me. You hit that like button, I promise you I'll dance at your wedding one day. I definitely and greatly would appreciate it. Also, make sure that you check out, if you're wondering why we're rocking the hanging earring, make sure that you check it out on the channel where we, the hanging earring legitimately um, opened something up inside of me and in my heart. And I realized that I could take things to the next level after my little cousin Shady showed me what the hanging earring, it can unlock your potential. I didn't realize it could do it like that, bro. I legit didn't know, but now I know. So Bijan Robinson, eat your heart out. Buddha says, Big No, I can't believe William Andrews said you can't be in a singing group for Uncle Steve. What's up with that? Man, you can't listen to Uncle Steve, man. You can't listen to Uncle Steve. Uncle Steve got out there and paid Mr. Willie to say that, man. Don't listen to Uncle Steve. Check Willie Andrews' cash app. I can almost guarantee you'll see a transaction from Uncle Steve. You can't believe what Uncle Steve is saying, man. He got all that hate in his heart. Shouts out to Uncle Steve, man. Y'all make sure y'all check out Uncle Steve's Lounge. One of the most entertaining Falcons content creators out here doing big things, man. Connor says Coach Smith is going to be dumbfounded watching this offense be so explosive week one. I told y'all what's going to happen. Archie Smith's going to come out and he's going to coach the game of his life. as the offense coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I do see from some of the notes that I saw, he is doing a lot of Arthur Smith, Arthur Smithish things. One of the most Arthur Smithish things that he is doing is I seen that he put Justin Fields he put Justin Fields in the running back drills. So what is that telling you? I can almost guarantee you Justin Fields is gonna be lining up at running back and he's gonna throw a pass. If I'm lying, I'm flying. I wish I could. Boy, I wish I could. I don't know if Vegas has that bet. If Justin Fields is going to throw a pass from the halfback position, but Bo, I, no, you know what? As a matter of fact, he's going to line up at wide receiver, come in motion, catch the forward pass. Nah. He's going to take the reverse, going right because he is right handed, and he's going to throw a pass. Art Smith's working on that right now. He's going, oh yeah, I'm really going to show him. Oh man. Jay Murphy says, Coach Lowe, aka Beloved, like Big Small said in one of his songs, if you don't know, now you know, pimping. Jay Murphy says, my boy, my dog, my man Kyle freaking Pitts, the unicorn, going to ball out like he did his rookie year with Matty Ice and get a contract extension and be a Falcon for many more years to hey Bo. The first thing is he gotta ball out. That's the first thing. He gotta ball out first. That's the first thing. And I'm thinking that this is something that this is a situation he could do it in. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I feel like we wasted. I feel like we wasted a couple years. And I know I keep going back to that, but I feel like we wasted 2 years. I feel like we wasted 2 years of the Falcons franchise. You know that was established. What was it, 1966? I feel like we wasted. We just waited. We threw them away. We threw them away. Yeah, we had all that potential on this team. We could have made the playoffs, but we wanted to go with Marcus Mariota. Art Smith continued to coach the way he coached. We blew it. The only good thing that we got out of it was some player development, and players learning how to lose in the NFL. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. ATL home time, Atlanta Falcons. Much love to you, Bo. Hope you're doing good tonight. Dr. Slick says Noah Smith, he would have Fields as the halfback for a play just to do a flea flicker with Will. Yes. That is completely and utterly the truth. I could definitely see it. Oh man, y'all crazy, boy. Y'all crazy. Well, look, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I definitely appreciate y'all coming on and chopping it up with old country boy tonight. We definitely enjoyed it. Also, make sure, if you don't mind, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Um, you know, we definitely would appreciate it. Also, make sure that you hit that like button. Share the channel with your friends and family. Sharing is caring. Let your friends and family on Facebook know there's old country boy on YouTube that love to sit around and talk about sports. Um, Also, make sure, as a matter of fact, let me put the link in here. We actually put out a video earlier today, and I'm going to share it in here. If you haven't had a chance to see it yet, make sure that you check it out. We made a video about the hanging earrings. So if you could, make sure that you check it out. I think y'all would legitimately enjoy it. Hold on one second. I got that link right here. All right. There it is. So I just put that link in the chat. So you can check out that video about the hanging earring. Made like a short film, I guess we can say. ATL hometown Atlanta Falcons says Big Low boys. Be like a few more minutes. Oh man. Boo Dog said the more I think about it, Art Smith was a dummy. Hey, bro. Hey. Coach Ronnie tried to tell us. Coach Ronnie tried to tell us. She tried to tell us what was going on, man. But look, we had to learn the hard way. We had to learn the hard way. But look, man, thank y'all so much for coming on, chopping it up with us. I need y'all to make sure that you stay safe. Please don't do anything that I would do. And y'all already know what time it is, man. Rise up. A time down. Y'all already know. We ready. What in the world, Bo?